Hello, this is Randy with Escape for Old School. Well, YouTube, it is no longer a theory. My board actually works. I got all the parts in and really just couldn't wait. Built it up. Really ran into a lot of issues with building it, but it all works. It's my power button. And if you can see that, it shows me how much battery life I have available. And I like that the power button is blue and the battery light is blue as well. The big wheels work out nicely. There's my box for my better speed controller. And there are my two 6374 motors. And yes, they are mounted underneath the skateboard, which is not what I intended, but I'll share that painful story later. Today I want to focus on the Lipo batteries. And the Lipo batteries is a very important part of this build. So I want to spend some time talking about that because it's very important and potentially dangerous. So let's get into that. So this is my battery box. And if I power it up, you can see that I'm at 70%, 71% of my battery power. So I am going to charge my battery and show you how that works out. Here you see my batteries are connected in series. And I better turn this off first. That's probably a good idea. And there's one of my battery cells. Now let me quickly go over the numbers with you so you can see what I did to calculate and know that this battery was going to be strong enough for my purposes. So let me explain how I came around to knowing that this battery would work out for me. So let me show you the numbers. Let's start off with my motors. So my motors, I have two 6374 180 kV motors. So the 180 kV just tells me the rate of speed that the motors will turn with the voltage provided by the battery. The 6374 is just the measurement of the diameter and the length of the motor. But what I do know that is helpful is that each motor can take 3,250 watts. So let's write that out. We got 3,250 watts. And we have two of those for a total of 6,500 watts. Now, for my batteries, I have two 6S batteries, 6 being the number of cells in the battery. And I have two of those for a total of 12 cells in series. Now the battery cells range from 3.7 volts at their lowest to 4.2 volts when they're full. So with 12S or 12 batteries in series, if we take 12 times 3.7 volts, this gives us 44.4 volts minimum. And if I take 12 times 4.2 volts, that gives me 50.4 volts max, or when the battery is fully charged. And if we look at our equation, we get watts is equal to volts times amperage. So we got 6,500 watts is equal to, and we're going to take the minimum voltage of 44.4 times the number of amps. And you divide 6,500 by 44.4, and you get amps equal to 146. So what does that mean? That means that when my motors are drawing their maximum amount of amperage, that number is going to be 146 amps, and that only occurs when the voltage of the battery is at its lowest level. So what we want to do here is we want to set this up such that motor amps required is less than VESC amps handled, which needs to be less than battery amps available. So we know this number for our motor amps required. This is 146 amps. Now the vest that I purchased can deliver up to 200 amps. So we're good there. And my battery, well, what can the battery do? The battery has a C rating on it. In this case, my C rating is 45 and my milliamp rating is 5,000. So we're going to take that 45 C rate. The C is, I forget what it stands for, charge, I believe. We're going to take that 45 C rating and we're going to multiply that times 5 amps, because this is in milliamps, so we're going to multiply it by amps. So that'll be 5 amps, and that'll give us 45 C times 5, and that gives us 225 amps. So the battery can deliver up to 225 amps continuously, which is more than enough to handle the 200 amps that the VESC might require, which is more than enough than the 146 amps that the motor might request. So that's how you know that your battery is plenty powerful enough to handle what your VESC might ask for and what your motors might need. Probably the most important aspect of managing LiPo batteries for an electronic skateboard is going to be how you manage charging those batteries. My recommendation here is don't go cheap. Don't buy a $10 charger for your batteries. They're just far too dangerous, and I just wouldn't mess with it. This battery charger here, it's nice because it can do more than one battery at a time, which is probably not the greatest idea, but I like that this charger is fairly fast. It's a balanced charge, which you need to be using for LiPo batteries. I got this from China, so it took some time to get in, but I do like the way that it works. It charges fast enough that I don't mind sitting here watching it charge. So you saw that my batteries were at 70%. So I'm going to go ahead and link those up to the charger here. I'm going to turn it on. It's got a power switch in the back. And you see that it defaults to the lithium battery. It's not the greatest idea to charge two batteries right next to each other like this, and you really should charge batteries inside of a protective bag that's designed for charging LiPo batteries. I'm going to be watching these carefully so that there's no way that I'm going to allow these to overcharge. So once I got them connected here, anyway, this is telling me that we got 22.2 volts 6S battery here and another 6S battery on the second port, telling me it's set to balance charge. It also has Lipo charge. Balance charge is what I want to use. Fast charge, storage. Storage, I believe, puts each battery at some sort of safe range for each cell of the Lipo battery for storage. Lipo discharge. If you want to throw the batteries away, you want to discharge them first before you throw them away. And balance charge. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. Oops, I gotta press this and hold it. It does a battery check. And press it again to start. And now both batteries are charging. You see it gives us how long we've been on the charger. And this is the feature that I like the best. If I press this button, now it's showing me the voltage level of each cell in each battery. So I can watch as the voltages climb as they charge. I'm actually going to stop it when it reaches 4.1 volts per cell. I could go up to 4.2, but fully charging the cells on the battery every time makes the batteries wear out a little bit faster. So I'm going to stop short of fully charging, so I just don't come anywhere close to overcharging any of the cells. I want them to last as long as I can make them last. So I'll restart this again when I get close to having this fully charged. So as you can see from my display, each cell has now reached at least 4.1 volts. And that is good enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the charging on each one. It's been about an hour for the cells to become fully charged. So I wish I could tell you that was the end of my Lipo story, but it just wouldn't be all the way true. Everything didn't go as smooth as I actually wanted it to go. You see, I first ordered a set of Lipo batteries from China. That was these batteries right here. So as you can see, these are 8,000 milliamp hours, 22 volts, and 30C. So this battery is actually more powerful than the 5,000 milliamp hour batteries that I'm using. However, the reason why I am not using these right now, and it's completely my fault, with this other battery, I decided I wanted to get cute and test out the voltage of each of the leads. So I took my voltmeter right here, and I took the little things here and I started poking on the little leads there and to try to measure the voltage, and I got a little blue spark, and I thought that's not supposed to happen, so I did it again. Got another blue spark. Well, I ended up killing one of the cells in this battery. When I put it on my balance charger, it told me low cell voltage, which was basically saying that one of the cells had died. I killed it by shorting it when I was trying to test the voltage. Now that was before I got my balance charger in the mail, which would have prevented me from making that mistake had I just used my balance charger to measure the voltage on the cells of my battery. So anyway, I ruined this battery and I'm going to order another one. So I went to the local Hobbytown store. I bought these batteries. These batteries at Hobbytown were $110 each, and it's a little bit smaller battery than the ones that I got from China. These batteries that I got from China were $67 each, about half the price for a stronger battery. I'm gonna get another one of these, so I'll have 2 sets of batteries. That'll be fine. I'll just use 2 sets. I did try these out on my board. Had a lot of fun. Worked just fine. I had plenty of power, going up hills with ease. And it was my first time riding an electric skateboard. but I'll have some video about that in a future video. I'll be able to show you some riding footage. Yeah, but a lot of great fun. But concerning the batteries are other than actually riding itself, the batteries are what make electronic skateboards dangerous. These things can explode. I'm going to include a link to another YouTube video that explains a lot of the dangers that come with these batteries. And there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that explain that, so I'm not going to go over those details. But just know that you have to be careful about how you manage these things. So that's it for today's episode of E-Skate for Old School. Next week, I'm going to go into the build for the box for my Vesk, and maybe I'll go into the setup of the Vesk as well. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.